Early discrimination began in America when people of different ethnicities began immigrating from Europe and other parts of the world. People were separated by age, wealth, customs, race, and religion. Many people have stood up to police and other types of discrimination in the past. People like Martin Luther King Jr. and Rosa Parks stood up to end segregation, while women's rights activists like Alice Paul fought for voting rights. Both movements resulted in great changes in both law and society. The 14th Amendment, passed in 1868, ensured equal protection to all people, and the 19th Amendment, passed in 1920, allowed women the right to vote. Today, we still see a rise in discrimination against a new group, teens. As some teens discover more ways to be reckless and rebel against the law, the rest suffer the consequences of their actions: mistrust, stereotypes, and negative assumptions. Many teens feel like the police solely target them. In this video, we interviewed 4 people with different viewpoints on the situation.
Hi, I'm David Schumann.
I'm Kevin, I'm 26 years old. I'm John Burma, I'm an ex-police officer from Palo Alto.
Hi, I'm Mark Sinclair.
When you trust your television, what you get is what you got.
Yes, they definitely do.
Absolutely not. Yes, I believe so.
Hell yeah, they discriminate. Look at this line here.
World to change, we keep on waiting on the world to change.
Honestly, the cops in Los Altos just have nothing better to do. I mean, they did it with my sister when she was in Los Altos. She's since graduated and moved on with her life. But it's just, this is a very small town. They have nothing else to do. So why not just rag on teenagers and pull people over for no reason?
They want to try and set things straight and get people on right paths, and they know that if you go down the wrong paths enough times, that you'll get in trouble. And so that's why sometimes kids perceive, I think, police officers as coming down a little hard on them or a little tougher than they should. I think it's because they care, and most of the police officers I knew had been in those situations before as teenagers themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Probably just for the whole, teenagers get in trouble kind of thing. Everyone thinks of teenagers as, doing dumb things and breaking the law and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I guess that's just how I always thought about it.
I think they stereotype teens and judge them so they can catch kids with drugs.
Did they ever address it in meetings about, treating teens differently? Or working, the fine line between...
Never. We had a briefing every single night before you go out for a half hour or an hour, depending on, all right, here's the situation, this is what we're doing today, this is what we're looking for, this bank was robbed. They'll brief that type of stuff. There's never been a briefing that I've ever been associated with that would single out not only teenagers, anything, race or older people or anything. Never once has that ever happened.
I'm driving 85 in the kind of...
I had a party at my house, and I had a whole bunch of cars lined up on my street, 30, 40 cars. And they first came by, they were cool. I talked to them while I was still sober, and I was saying, you know what, I'll quiet it down, I'll try and get these people to move their cars out of the dangerous area, and they're like, alright, it's chill, but as long as we don't have to come back, we don't have a problem. I was like, alright. And so 2 hours later they came back with a tow truck and 2 sheriffs and 6 Los Altos Police Department officers, and I don't know, they were just being total douchebags.
What did they end up doing?
They towed one car out of a ditch, but I knew my rights. I have a gate, and so I didn't allow them to come up to where the party actually was.
When I was back in high school, 16, 17 years old, we used to play Frisbee in the streets, walking around town, just go down different streets, and we were stopped over 10 different times by the police. We didn't get in trouble, they never did anything formal, but they would definitely stop us and question us for maybe 10 or 15 minutes, asking what we were doing, where we were going, all that. And we were just playing Frisbee, so it was never a big deal, but they would definitely stop us and talk to us for a while.
nowadays they don't have that tolerance, because if something happened, if one of those teenagers left and had been drinking, they're going to come back to those police officers. So that's the difference. There's a little bit different time than when I was growing up.
Either way, I wanna sometimes.
No, dude, the guy was cussing in my face. He was threatening me with juvie, saying, "You kid, like, you're gonna go to juvie, like, this isn't gonna end well for you. You're stupid, like, why are you being so stubborn, like you're just being an idiot." I feel like they wouldn't have treated me like I didn't know shit. That's how they treated me, like, they just like some punk little kid who doesn't know what he's doing.
With respect, but they start to, I don't know, it's different in every situation. If you know you're going to get a ticket for something, for like speeding, like, you're pretty much going to get that ticket and you can't argue out of it, but you might want to go into your pockets and mess around and see what's good.
Occasionally when I'm walking home from a friend's house, even late at night, when it makes more sense to be stopped, they stop me and they say, "Where are you going?" "Just walking home," and then they leave. It's very quick, just, "Oh, okay, no problem, have a good night." So we used to get talked to a lot more when we were younger than we do now.
Oh, for sure. They would have been so much more respectful. If I had been older, I feel that they just wouldn't have given me such a hard time. They would have maybe given me another break, been a lot politer. I just feel that they would have been a lot more respectful, and yeah.
They see me and they probably have more respect because I'm older and I can handle myself. But when you're a teenager, people still treat you like a child. That's the best way I understand it.
I don't think age matters, actually. If you're young or not, like, you're still going to get in trouble if you do something wrong. And if you look conspicuous, you look conspicuous.
Yeah.
Why? Tell me why.
Yes, definitely.
I did kind of. I told them that I was aware of my rights. I knew that they would not be allowed to search my house. They weren't allowed to come on my property unless I said so, because I had a gate. I have since learned that it is best to fight police in court and not on the streets where they can tase you.
Rewrite my history. Who says I can't be free? It's been a long...
No, because not all teenagers are what they assume them to be. I mean, not all teenagers go out and party and do drugs and drink all the time and drive recklessly. It's just a generalization they make. They label us teenagers as just that, teenagers who don't know what they're doing, who haven't really experienced life yet, in the sense that they can make informed decisions. But I mean, that's also part of the fact that teenagers don't have developed frontal lobes. And so teenagers' rationality is like they don't have the same rationality that adults do, and so I think that's a generalization.
I don't think it's fair, but it's part of their job, because they're always stereotyping, like, even though they're not supposed to, like, how are they going to catch anyone if they don't? So,
when you're a teenager, you're invincible. Life is forever. You can do just about anything you want to do, and it's, why can't I do that? Why shouldn't I be able to do that? Those types of things. And you really haven't lived life enough, I think, as a teenager to understand all of the things the consequences that can come from doing things wrong or doing this or doing that. Believe me, I was a teenager and I did dumb things like shooting out streetlights with pellet guns. And you don't have a worldliness about you yet, just because you haven't lived it. That's all.
Although changing public opinion can be nearly impossible, it is up to teens to end the stereotype. The easiest thing teens can do to solve this problem is know their rights and be respectful, to show people that not all teens are out to cause trouble.